Alright, so we had a quick change of plans this morning. We had to shoot an interview with a university student. Then we found out we can actually go back to Haleta and finish what we were hoping to the other day, which means we scrapped our original plan of shooting staff interviews this morning, and we're on our way back to Haleta. One of the questions I get asked all the time is, how do you know what you're doing? How do you figure it out? What is your process like? And it's a difficult question to answer because there's so many different variables that go into what I'm doing. There's so many moving parts that are out of my control that comes into a project. And I wanted to share 4 quick tips for how you can prepare but also be flexible because things are always changing. And I'm going to partner that with some situations that we had in Ethiopia that you can see firsthand how we did our best to give an end product that makes the client happy and gives them what they need. Tip numero uno. Prepare a list of topics and approximate shots that you're looking to get for while you're leaving space for natural changes. I'm not one of those people that shot lists where I'm storyboarding exact frames and things like that. I have ballpark ideas of what I'm looking for. If I'm shooting at a school and I'm doing an interview, I want classroom or something educational. If I'm shooting offices, so on and so forth. But then it's also, I'm researching the programming that an organization's doing. So what are the main programs that they're running? Who's involved? Are there any key players we need to talk to? And just getting a ballpark list of those types of things. Perfect example, YZM works with kids everywhere from preschool through parents that are single parents. So getting people that are in different age ranges, graduates of the program, kids that are in high school, kids that are a little younger, getting all of that variety. We had to be prepared to know what types of stuff we needed to get. So the YZM content, we've got I'm just going to kind of go through ballpark shots, and if I say something a second time, just leave it in the second one. Maybe put a star next to it. Okay. So for the overview video, we've got to do interviews with founders, staff, parents, kids in program, and a graduate of the program.
So we do interviews with
founders, a staff or 2, parent or 2, kids in the program, graduates of the program. And we could probably use that for a lot of this stuff, for talking bits or like voiceover bits.
And what was the last one?
Graduates.
Thank you.
Tip number 2. As soon as you get on location, sit down and work with local leaders that are helping you understand exactly how what your shot list and your plan is meshes with what is actually there. There's a lot of times that I run into situations where I've prepared for one thing and that's not exactly how it is when I get there. So this is a way to prepare yourself for what may show up, what might not show up. You don't know exactly what it's going to be, and they'll help you best tell the story for them. The thing that I try to be very careful of is I want to tell their story through their eyes and their perspective. I don't want to reform their story. I'm not creating a narrative, I am telling their narrative. And so that's where sitting down with the leaders really helps you grasp what is going on there. What about the women's program?
Women's
empowerment.
IGA.
Women's empowerment. IGA is Holatan.
Okay.
You can take the same when you take sheep
Yeah.
farming.
Yeah.
We can do it together.
Okay.
When you go to Holatan, we complete every activity there.
Okay. And is the sewing program?
Sewing program and
That's all there.
they're all there.
Okay.
All there.
And that's all happening at the same time?
I think we can arrange, but it's not
Okay.
the same time. for the sake of you guys, to get everything,
Yeah.
we can try to organize.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's good. Because you don't need to go back,
Right.
to go again and again.
So-
Wasting time.
So we would do preschool in the morning in Haleta, then we would do the sheep farm, and then
farm and
the
women
sewing.
empowerment.
Yeah, women's empowerment.
And so sewing and computer training in the same compound.
Okay, perfect.
For the same compound.
Okay.
No problem. I think we will do it tomorrow. We will have,
Yeah. That works.
Lot of activity,
That is a lot, but we'll be good.
Yeah.
We can do it.
It makes you so busy, I'm sure.
I'd rather be busy than bored.
Yeah.
Tip number 3. Know that situations out of your control are going to happen and be willing and able to adjust to it from there. So we're going to jump to an example right here.
But now for the time we got only one. Yesterday it was a good time, but I forgot it. The idea is coming this morning, but I called him. He came.
Okay.
The second one is busy. Maybe another time. I don't know. Now you can arrange your what do you call it?
Equipment?
Your equipment, and he's here. He's coming.
He's here already?
Yeah, he's coming from his internship. He's impulsive to back to his because of our colleague. He came here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, he's here in our office.
He's here already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
What time do the kids eat breakfast? This situation was us showing up and anticipating that we had about an hour to figure out what our interview setup was going to be. Upon our arrival, not only did we find out that we had this kid waiting for us to be interviewed right then, we also found out that we weren't about to interview the staff. We actually had to jump in the car as soon as we finished this one interview and drive. So the reaction that you saw on my face is me instantly going, okay, how can I process? How can I adapt? How can we make this happen? And you can see a little bit of us quickly jumping into setup right here. Andy, can I sit in that spot carefully? You're gonna look that way. Joel, can you grab me the other one of these that's in the bag in the office, please? Tip number 4. You just gotta roll with it and have fun with whatever ends up happening. The clip that you're about to see for this is the exact moment and the car ride that happened right after we had to catch that interview. All right, so we had a quick change of plans this morning. We had to shoot an interview with a university student. Then we found out we could actually go back to Haleta and finish what we were hoping to the other day, which means we scrapped our original plan of shooting staff interviews this morning, and we're on our way back to Haleta, and I'm having fun on the car ride because I'm doing one of my favorite pastimes on long car rides, which is really slow shutter with your camera out the window so the car is in focus, but everything going by is blurry. It's a lot of fun. It passes the time, and yeah, so we're on our way to Haleta. As you could probably tell, I thoroughly enjoy shooting out of cars when we're driving around. It's one of those things that just keeps my brain thinking while we are doing something that I have no control over, being stuck in a car. We ended up adding an extra 2 hours of driving with the round trip, and so yeah, I do what I can to lighten the mood and have some fun. Yeah. As you can tell, I thoroughly enjoy shooting out of the sides of vehicles or out of the front of a vehicle, depending on what type of car we've got. It just changes things up, makes it more interesting while I'm sitting in the car. You never know what is going to happen when you're in the car, so it's always fun to have a camera out doing something. That's all I got. If you guys have any comments or your own tips on what you do to prep for a project, leave a comment down below. I hope you guys got something great out of this. If you guys have any other questions, also leave a comment or shoot me a message on Instagram. Just search my name, Simon Eisenbach, and I would be glad to answer that. Other than that, be sure you're subscribed and hit the little bell so you get notified when I upload the next video. Have a great week. I'll see you next time.